Hello, this is Danielle Ireland with Healing Hearts of Indie, and today I want to talk about the suffering contest. Oh, the suffering contest. This can be an exhausting battle that nobody really wants to win. Now, here's what I mean by the suffering contest. Have you ever kind of walked into a room, there's a group of people talking, and maybe you're just feeling a little down or a little tired, you had a hard night, and you're like, man, God, I had a hard night. I couldn't get to sleep. I don't know what was going on, but I just couldn't get there. And then someone immediately tries to one up your exhaustion with how exhausted they are, how much more exhausted they are than you, because not only did they have a hard time sleeping, but they also were, rescuing puppies, and they were, working their 18th job, and blah, 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 and they just layer on all the other reasons why they're so much more exhausted than you. And then you're like, okay, and you don't really know where to go from there. Well, this is in what I'm calling a suffering contest, and it's one of those things that I'm noticing more and more. And when I notice something, what it usually lets me know is there's something going, and by notice I don't mean it's irritating, but when something is irritating me, or it's caught my attention, or I happen to hear it more often than I have before, usually what that's indicating for me is there's something changing within me, something new is coming up within my awareness, and I should pay attention to it. So by sharing this with you, I can't help but wonder, have you been noticing either yourself as someone who maybe is trying to join in the conversation and like, oh, you think you've got it rough? Well, let me tell you about all the things going on in my life. Or are you maybe coming into a conversation wanting to share your own experience, and it feels like someone's trying to whack-a-mole your pain down by how much more they suffer than you? Well, it's a tricky place to be, because where's the line between sharing our experiences and maybe getting competitive with our suffering and pain, and also wanting validation and people trying to relate to one another? And this teeter-totter, this kind of balancing act between wanting to feel connected and also wanting to win suffering, it's sometimes hard to know exactly where that line is. But the thing that I know for sure is that when I feel like I'm coming in and I'm sharing an experience and someone's relating to me in their own way by sharing some version of I understand, or yeah, I've been there too, or I totally can relate, it's so weird, I've been having the same feeling too. There's something about the validation versus the competitiveness that feels like an invitation to continue, and it also feels lighter and it feels warmer. I feel more relaxed and more understood and seen when someone is validating me, or when I'm validating someone else, versus, God, I had a rough night. Oh, you think you've got it rough. Then it feels like there's like a shift in power where I somehow feel less smaller and unworthy of my feelings, and this person has it much worse, and I should keep my feelings to myself. This doesn't feel good. I don't feel like an open conversation. I don't really also feel like I want to share with this person anymore. So not a lot of conclusions to draw per se, but I just thought this was an interesting thing to explore, the difference between validation and sort of competitive suffering. And I would love to hear from you. Do you notice this in your own life? And what are things that you do to combat that or work through that? Do you do nothing and just kind of keep quiet? Or have you had an experience that's worked well for you when you bring this to someone's attention? I don't know, because I'm still learning it too, but it's definitely been raised in my awareness. But one takeaway that I'd like to challenge you with, and I'm also trying to challenge myself with as well, is that when I'm noticing the behavior in others, it usually can mean that there's something being reflected back to me that I'm seeing about myself. So when I notice other people competing in their suffering, or competing in how tired they are, or competing in how hard they work, I try to just kind of log that in my memory bank and think, there's probably been a point in my life where I may have done the exact same thing. And now with this new sense of awareness, I'm going to try to do better to not make other people's stories about me, and just sit and hold a space to listen to them if they need to share. This may or may not feel true to you. This may or may not be helpful, but I hope that it was. I think it's fun when we get to share experiences and learn and grow with one another. And if you have any thoughts or comments, I would love to hear from you. You can comment on this video. You can also email me at danielle@danielleireland.com. I would love to continue this conversation with you. So hope to hear from you soon, and thank you so much for watching.